It's a joy to welcome you today, especially this weekend, to this YouTube program of Walking with God in the Garden. It's an exciting time of the year, really. We're mid-year as far as the time is concerned, and it's gardening time. It's a wonderful time from the standpoint of harvest, planting, enjoying, watching things grow, and being a part of God's plan. I hope and pray that you are a part of God's plan as well, and that your garden is growing. Not just the physical garden, but spiritually, that your life is being enhanced, filled with joy and happiness, peace of mind and soul, and also challenge. That's really what life is all about, and we face that this weekend as we think of the 4th of July. I could give you a program today about the 4th of July, but in so doing, I would have to include the things that I really appreciate. And I'm not ashamed to tell you that I appreciate life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life because it's so great. I know many people seem depressed and discouraged, but life is an exciting experience. God has given us life, and we are told that we should seek it in all of its abundance. Then I think of liberty, the freedoms that we have. It's unbelievable, really, compared to the rest of the world for the most part, of the freedoms we have. To live where we want to live, drive the kind of car we want, eat the kind of food we want, have the kind of friends we want. There is just almost limitless opportunities in liberty. And of course, liberty to not only say what we want to say, but to choose what we want to choose. It's one of the great gifts of God, the right of choice. And then life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. One of my goals in life, frankly, is to help people find happiness. I know that there are many people who are not very happy. They're not happy because they don't have more than somebody else. They're not happy because they don't live in the right place. They're not happy because of the price of gasoline, especially here. And they're not happy because of inflation. There are many things to be unhappy for, but the Bible says that God has called us to a life of abundance. And in this country of ours, the pursuit of happiness, what a remarkable thing that is at our disposal. So friends, as we share today here on the YouTube program, Walking with God in the Garden, I'd like to tell you what I have found to be so very true about life itself. If there's something I'm missing, I try to find somebody who has what I don't have. It's not that I seek it out of envy, jealousy, or covetousness. It's just that if somebody knows something I don't know, I want to know what that person knows. I do that in my gardening. It's a challenge. I talk a lot to other gardeners about what works for them. If there's an insect in the garden, I ask them how they control it. If there are gophers, I seek better ways to catch the gophers. And not only that, but I think sometimes about the plants that we grow. Some people have more success than I do, and that's okay, but I don't want to leave it at that. I want to find the way for that success that the other person has. It's not out of covetousness, it's simply out of endeavor. And I pray that you too would look beyond yourself at others who may have more than you, and then seek that which they have to offer you. That is the way it was with the disciples. when they were with Jesus. They saw that Jesus prayed much more effectively than they did. So they, being around Jesus, watched Jesus. And one day they got up the courage to say, Jesus, we see you can pray in a way that we don't pray. And we're going to ask you, would you teach us how to pray? There was another time when they could not perform a healing. They tried everything imaginable to bring about healing to this sick person. Jesus was on the mountaintop. When Jesus came down with his 3 disciples, the other disciples came to Jesus and said, Jesus, how come we were not able to heal this man? All Jesus did was reach out and heal him. But they wanted to know what it was in Jesus that made it successful. So they asked him, and Jesus said, it's by prayer. It's by dedication. It's by faith that you make this work. So the disciples learned something from Jesus. How about in your life? As you think about others who might be more spiritual or more at peace, more contented, more successful in their religious walk, do you seek them out? Do you try in some way to discover what it is that they have that you don't have? I think, frankly, that it's very legitimate to do that. If you attend a church, for instance, where nothing is happening, no blessings, no joy, no peace, no true education, then I think it's wise to go and seek out a church that will offer that to you. Now I know there are sometimes shortcomings. We don't always get what we want in life. We understand that. And sometimes we have to be contented where we are. But if there is something out there that is possible for you to achieve and to have, but don't have it presently, I would strongly suggest that you pursue it, like I pursue in my gardening, from those who know. I find that this was true for David, and I want to read for you something about King David. He's a very clever guy, by the way. He's not a Johnny-come-lately. He's had a lot of experiences. He's fought off all the problems with Saul. Saul is now dead. There is conflict between the northern part of Israel and the southern. But here's what happens. And it has to do with the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was a very special item. It brought blessings to those who had it. So, naturally, if somebody else has the ark and you don't have it, and they're being blessed, why would it not be logical for you to want to have the ark? And that is true for David. I read from you today, 2 Samuel chapter 6. I'll begin with verse 12. Now King David was told, the Lord has blessed the household of Obed-Edom and everything he has, because the ark of God is with him. So David went down and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom to the city of David with rejoicing. When those who were carrying the ark of the Lord had taken 6 steps, he sacrificed a bull and fattened calf. David, wearing a linen ephod, danced before the Lord with all his might, while he and the entire house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouts and the sound of trumpets. David was not going to be left out. He saw that the one who had the ark was blessed. And David wanted that blessing. It's not a matter of impropriety that he went to get the ark. The ark actually was an object that God had given to the people of Israel. And those who had it were blessed. David saw that that was a way to blessing in his life. Is there something out there in your life that could bless you? Is there someone who has a deeper walk with God than you that seems to be happier, more joyful, more positive, more optimistic? Is there something out there beyond you that you, in a way, would like to have in your life by way of spirituality, a deeper meaning of God's presence? If so, today, seek it out, pursue it, go after it, and God will bless you for your effort today. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, by the way, and I would pray that you would dial in again next week, and have a wonderful 4th of July.